The elderly man had just stepped out of the supermarket when suddenly the alarm at the door blared loudly. The supermarket owner immediately shouted to catch the thief. Soon after, the elderly man was stopped by the security guards. They quickly took out a metal detector and carefully checked everything on the elderly man. When the detector swept over his chest, the machine made another noise. The owner was sure the elderly man was hiding something, but the elderly man insisted he had only bought perfume and hadn't stolen anything else. The owner didn't believe him, thinking the elderly man was lying, so he ordered the security guards to forcibly remove the elderly man's clothes and search for the stolen items. At that moment, the elderly man suddenly became agitated. He firmly refused anyone to touch him, deciding to remove his clothes himself to prove his innocence. In front of everyone, the elderly man endured the humiliation and took off his coat, but there was nothing on him. What was revealed was a body full of scars. It turned out, the elderly man had once been a hero who fought fires, a lifetime of bravery saving lives, and had received many honors, but after retiring, he quietly collected trash, just to contribute to the city's environmental efforts. His wealthy son had recently told him he was getting married, and wanted him to meet his future daughter-in-law. The elderly man was overjoyed, and hurriedly took out his metal-covered jacket. The next day, he went to the supermarket his son owned, planning to buy a gift for his future daughter-in-law. Due to his poor eyesight, he accidentally bought a pack of sanitary pads. At that moment, two young girls ran into him. The girls saw the package and looked shocked. They loudly scolded the elderly man, calling him a pervert. The elderly man quickly explained he was buying a gift, but the more he explained, the worse the misunderstanding became. The girls had no idea. The elderly man in front of them was their future father-in-law. They mocked. What kind of daughter-in-law would have such a father-in-law? They thought he must have bad luck, and complained about the unpleasant smell on him. One of the girl's friends also made fun of him, saying that such a dirty old man shouldn't be allowed in the supermarket. The elderly man didn't take these words to heart. However, when he went to pay and was about to leave, the alarm suddenly went off again. The elderly man, innocent, was mistaken for a thief. The crowd around them accused him of being old, and still doing such shameless things. The girl immediately asked the security to search his clothes, firmly believing he had stolen something. The elderly man had lived his life with integrity, but couldn't stand such humiliation. Under the pressure of social anxiety, he decisively took off his coat, revealing his full body of scars, leaving everyone stunned. However, the girls still didn't believe him, and planned to upload a video online to condemn him. The two even argued. One of the girls called the elderly man's son, claiming someone was being a pervert to her in the supermarket. The son was furious, and rushed to the scene, but the girls became even more outrageous. Not only did they smash the eggs the elderly man had bought for his son, they also ripped his precious metal-covered jacket, claiming it was fake. The elderly man pleaded with them in pain, but instead, he received a hard blow. The girl seemed even angrier, and stomped on the elderly man's jacket, rubbing it violently. The elderly man weakly trembled as he picked up the jacket. At that moment, his heart almost broke. Surveillance footage showed the elderly man hadn't stolen anything, but the girls had already quietly disappeared. The supermarket remained indifferent, as if nothing had happened, leaving the elderly man alone, with a heart broken in pain. Even so, the elderly man still forced himself to adjust his emotions, determined to take a taxi to attend the engagement party. When the car door opened, his future daughter-in-law was stunned.